What's going on, guys? And today I'll be reviewing the Smiler Alton Towers. Now, this coaster is the coaster with the most inversions in the world. Of course, walking into this coaster, the main thing you would be thinking about is that this coaster has 14 inversions, which this whole ride is basically based around. But another thing to notice is that this coaster has probably the most disturbing theme of any coaster out there. It has the theme of smiling, why it's called the Smiler, and that smile is just creepy, but it didn't really bother me, but I bet it creeps out other people and maybe gives them nightmares. But the theme is actually pretty cool in my opinion. So today I'll be going through this whole ride, giving you guys my full thoughts on it, and at the end I'll be giving this coaster a final score out of 10. So let's start out with the stats. It is 98 feet tall, not the tallest, but it is at Alton Towers, which they have a height restriction for all their coasters. It is 52 miles per hour, very solid speed, has the record for 14 inversions, which is just insane for a coaster to have. It has a track length of 3,838 feet long. Those are solid stats because Alton Towers, like I said, has this rule they can't build over the tree line, and of course the 14 inversions. Now let's just talk about the ride. This thing is insane. First of all, I was so frustrated because it is so hard to get footage of this thing. I mean, it is going in every which direction. It is just crazy. This coaster is split up into two parts. First part having a regular lift hill with 7 inversions, and the second half having a 90-degree lift hill straight up and 7 inversions again. So the 14 inversions on this ride are split up evenly, which is actually smart because of you wouldn't really want it to be too crazy to where people throw up, which it probably happens anyways. Now here's something interesting that I just want to point out is that this coaster on all of the 14 inversions does not have a single vertical loop. There is mostly corkscrews and dive loops, which I think is good, but you at least could have one vertical loop, which most of the standard coasters with inversions have. Which actually there are 5 corkscrews and 3 dive loops, which on a normal coaster would make up the whole ride's inversions, but on the Smiler, there's more. I mean, the other versions on this coaster are sea serpent rolls, heartline rolls, sidewinders, and a cobra roll. There's actually an inversion in the dark to start out with the ride, which is actually a really good element, but this coaster is actually not all inversions, which is crazy to think about, but there's also 2 airtime hills, which deliver some fantastic airtime, which is very surprising for a coaster that is filled out with inversions. I really was flying out of my seat, and it was awesome coming into this coaster. I was really unaware that it had any airtime, and I was amazed on how good it was, actually. They really do just pack it in that space, and that's what makes this coaster just really unique. Now, here's a question asked by lots of people that is, will the Smiler make you sick? And it did not make me sick, but like I said earlier, they split it up into 2 parts, and that really helps for someone who is not the best person to go on coasters. Now, coming in to what I said earlier, I love the theming on this coaster. There's the soundtrack from I'm a Score. It just goes along with this coaster, and it is very creepy, but it's just really awesome. The whole soundtrack is messed up laughter, and it's just fun to listen to. I actually had it stuck in my head most of our Europe trip. But the main part of the theming about this coaster is that there is the big structure in the middle. I think it's called the Marmalizer, which has 3 legs, one of them being the Hypnotizer. I mean, Alton Towers just went all out with the theming, and they actually did a really good job with it, a fantastic job. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the smoothness. Is it rough? And I definitely think it was a little. That's the reason why it's not going to get a 10 out of 10, but there was some moments that had a little head banging. So now it's time for the overall score, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Like I said, it was a little rough, and that's what keeps it away from a 10, but sure, it is a very great coaster. I would probably say it's my second favorite coaster, Alton Towers, right behind Nemesis. But this coaster is very different from other coasters, and that's what makes it so good. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notified when I post a new video. It helps us a lot. And I'll see you guys later.